Oh, they do.
I'm sorry.
Oh, let's get that on. All right,
I have 701. Good evening to those of you online. From wherever you are. I think we have Alabama and Jude. You'll have to remind us where you are when you start talking. And Roger, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm in East Texas, Tyler.
Tyler, all right, okay. You see Earl Campbell today? No.
I did not.
Marcia, how are you? And Lawrence? Lawrence, where are you from? Hey, Marcia. Lawrence is muted. Okay. Jude, where are you again?
I'm in Lawrence, Kansas.
Lawrence, Kansas. Okay, yeah, all right. All right. So we got people all over the country here today. And Greg's joining. All right, everyone. I hope all of you are doing pretty well. For you. I have what? We've been in the meeting less than 30 minutes, and Mike McCroskey has already made a comment. He wouldn't let me kind of do my own little flow, sir. But since Mike rudely interrupted me, my name is Joe Thompson, president of the Larry Durker chapter. I'm joking. Me and Mike kind of go on. I almost wait for him to say something. So that way I know the meeting will get started. But Vince, are you in Milwaukee?
I'm not in Milwaukee. No, I'm back in Houston.
Oh.
I just like to wear Brewer stuff, trying to represent.
Anyway, I have one question. Is anybody else on the Astros gone on the injured list in the last 10 minutes? All right, so I'm just wondering, because we did get on social media, I did get a notification that another player went on the IL, and so
Trammell left the game.
who?
Trammell left the game.
Trammell is the latest. So wow. Okay.
Mike Cooper went with the team 3 days ago.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering if y'all have heard anything in the last 30 seconds. Because it is, 39 in Cleveland right now? And the Astros are winning 7-2 last time I checked.
Yeah.
So.
But they're in the bullpen now.
But they're in the bullpen. So hold on, everyone. So I hope all of you are doing good. I'm doing pretty well considering that I enjoyed my last meal before I have to go to the dentist tomorrow. I'm having a root canal, so I'm enjoying my last supper, so to speak. But okay, so we have a big show, and I promised both of our main speakers, one of whom is sitting in the room with us, that I would not talk long. We have a great meeting signed up, getting ready for y'all today, and so I won't take a lot of your time. First of all, in the last month, we've added 5 new members. Stephen Bowman, Ethan Dumas, Larry Hayes, Olga Lara, Riley Rich. Riley's from Burlington, Massachusetts. Larry from San Francisco. And Ethan is from, I'm not even going to try to pronounce, Louisiana. Opelousas, is that right? Opelousas. See, I told you I was going to try. In between Mike and the English major over here, I can't get a word in edgewise. So, again, so welcome. And whoever we lost, if you're watching this, please join up again. Okay? Besides, you get to miss meetings like this. If this is the first time you have ever been to one of our meetings, we would like the person that brought you, or if nobody brought you, you brought yourself, to introduce yourself. So we'll start over here with John and your guest.
Yeah, I'll do it. All right.
Sure, John, you want to?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't need a microphone. You don't either.
Okay.
This is Will Lang. He lives in the Woodlands. He grew up in New Orleans for a short bit before he moved to Magnolia and went to high school there and then went to A&M. He grew up as an Astros fan. Knows the other teams. He works with David in the Woodlands. And he's a big baseball fan, and I'm hoping to have his back many times.
Welcome, Will. Will, do you play baseball at all, even recreational? Recreational.
I'll play catch with my nephew.
Okay, well, that's all we need for our vintage baseball team, Houston Babies. Somebody that can like catch a ball or hit every once in a while. So if you're interested in that, we have our GM over here somewhere, or something. So we're always looking for players in that. I'm recruiting tonight. All right. So, okay. Next up. Serena.
My sister Alicia, she's visiting from the Dublin, Oregon area. It's her first time to come to a SABR meeting. Yes.
Welcome.
Hello. Typically follows the Giants. Yes. San Francisco Giants. She lived in the San Francisco Bay Area for a while. Yes.
Really? Well, welcome.
Well,
Welcome.
glad to be here.
All right. So I'm going to go and chat. And my favorite players in baseball right now play the Giants. That's Luis Ariz. So, Bob?
This is my son David from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Wow.
He, I have to stand no, you don't have to stand up. His claim to fame is he's the only center fielder that played for the Houston Babies that made a dive catch on concrete. Don't ask why. That's dedication. That's dedication.
Yeah, it's not sad.
Yeah. The last person, I'm going to let him introduce himself in a little bit. Okay? Is that cool? Is that all right? All right. Okay. See, he's our second special guest. But I will say this. This person, I met at FanFest, and he's been chomping at the bit to get involved in, say, our local chapter. So, you know, that's all I got to say. All right? Okay. Anybody else? Lawrence? Lawrence, are you there? No, he's frozen. Frozen in time. All right, we'll get back to you, Lawrence. Okay. Last month we had a hilarious meeting, to say the least. We had Rob Scheinkoff, Baseball Imposters. Did anybody get a chance to look at that book? I mean, the book was about people that say they had something to do with baseball, but they never did. Okay, he spent 40 years researching that book, and it was hilarious, some of the stories he shared with us. And we also had Mike Vance, chapter member, who actually ended up winning the trivia contest last month. And Mike talked to us about two things: his new book, Comedians Talking Baseball. I actually saw Mike on a being interviewed by Jason Bristol.
Yeah.
So it's online. So if you want to check out that interview. And he also talked to us about his trip to Puerto Rico and to watch baseball over the winter. So Mike can't be with us tonight. So Mike, wherever you are, we can't wait to see you again. Mike also gave us an update about the Colt 45 Stadium historical marker, which should be going up soon. Last time we had a ceremony with the historical marker was the Astrodome. So whenever that historical marker gets in place at Colt Stadium, Mike will let us know, and I'll send out an invite to everybody, and hopefully we have a big chapter contingent out at the parking lot for Colt Stadium. Okay, so whenever that is, we waited several years for this. So, okay, real quick, I'd like to have Mike McCroskey talk about what's going on next month. Next month, we're having a chapter meeting on May the 9th, but that's not the most exciting thing we will be having. Mike? Okay.
Yes, next month, our meeting will be Saturday, May 9th. Constellation Field, where we'll be playing an opponent. And we'll have an excellent speaker. It's yet to be determined. I've had some excellent speakers turn us down. And just today I was talking to Bob Esmer, funny, he again said he could not speak for us, but. And then, but if y'all have one, if you know of anybody that would like to speak, we do need a speaker right now. Go and find one. So the tickets are $65. Time to start collecting money. You can either mail me a check, which I prefer because it got your name on it very well, and then you get tickets. They can track your email if you've gone to the game before, because they email the tickets off the website. But I'm now moving into the Zelle me the money.
Mike is moving up in the world. You can sell him money.
To my mobile number. No Venmo. I'd gone that far.
So what does the ticket include, Mike?
Well, it includes a meeting. They'll let us in early, about 3:30. The game starts at 6. So we can have our meeting. I think we're going to have an election. We have to elect new officers for next year.
Well, we're that'll be the in-person voting portion of the meeting.
Okay, and then there's a sit-down buffet. Be up in the air-conditioned Insperity Suite. Tickets are $65 a piece. Cash bar, ice cream in the 5th inning, Bluebell. And parking's, I think, $3 now. Regular $5, but if you pay ahead, you get it.
We're paying you ahead for $3.
Yes, added to the price of the tickets. So we get one parking ticket per car, not per person. Got that, Glory? Yeah.
How, Mike, that we either Zelle you or send you a check?
Yeah,
What is the total amount?
but it depends on how many people are going. If it's you and parking would be $68, I believe. I have to double check the parking.
But it's $65 a person.
But
For-
the regular 70, we get a $5 per person group discount once we reach 20 or more.
For the meeting, the buffet, the suite level seating, basically the inside
Ice cream.
ice cream.
All for less than the cost of parking at an Astros.
All you can if you just sit in there in the suite level in the Insperity Club, $65.
To be announced.
Yes.
Right. So if you're interested in going, $65 a person. I think we're playing the Isotopes, Albuquerque. That's the Colorado Rockies team.
I think so.
Yeah, the Isotopes. So, considering the way the injury situation is going, we might have a major league player or 2 or 3 that's playing that night. I don't know.
Or we get to watch one that'll be playing this week.
Yeah, pretty much. So, this is your way to get to know the Triple-A, low minors Astros for this year. All right, so that is our meeting, May the 9th.
What is your number that we Zelle the money to?
My cell phone,
I don't know your cell phone.
541-6844.
281-541-6844.
68. That's correct.
You got that internet?
Yep, I'm gonna start prank calling them.
All right. Okay. May the 9th. So when do you need the money by?
As soon as possible.
Okay, so
Well, I want to get 20 in and lock in our seats as close as we can. Because how far is that away? 3 weeks?
yeah, 3 weeks. And we usually have at least 20, sometimes 25, maybe 30 go to the game.
Yeah, we mentioned it last week, but last month, nobody sent the money in, but so we need it the next week or so.
Okay. All right, so that's the May meeting.
Joe, you said the meeting that day starts at what time?
We're thinking 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, the gates open at 4, but they let us in early. It's a real good about that.
So once we have a speaker down, we'll let you know. We're going to try to get one of the announcers for the Space Cowboys. They're usually pretty good.
Maybe
Maybe,
you have a promotional item, and they have them there.
yeah.
You're great. I think the Ponytail baseball cap for you would that.
All right, so that's May 9th. June 22nd is the next time. So in May, we're not going to be here. In May, we will not be here at Spaghetti Western. The next time we will be at Spaghetti Western is June 22nd. Bill Brown will be our guest speaker. Former Astros announcer, Bill Brown. He will talk to us. As you all know, Bill Brown had a long history with the Cincinnati Reds. He has a brand new book out about the Cincinnati Reds dynasty, the 1970s. So Brownie will talk to us about the Reds in the 1970s. Okay, and his new book. And I think a big thing he talks about is that 76 series against the Red Sox. So this is the 50th anniversary of that.
75.
75, well, what do I know? Okay, 51 years anniversary.
76 was the game.
Yes, okay. All right. Well, all right. But then I'm also going to try to get other members of the Astros Hall of Fame committee to join Brownie that night. People like Bob Thorell and maybe Mike Acosta, maybe some others to talk. The Astros Hall of Fame committee to talk about what goes in to trying to figure out who's going to join the Astros Hall of Fame year by year.
What was that date in June again?
June 22nd.
June 22nd, okay, so different.
Okay. Okay. Real quickly before I bring the guest up here, I have another question for you when it comes to the Astros. Who's going to get fired first? What do you think? Dana Brown or Joe Espada or every other coach? Oh, come on. Nobody has an opinion. Nobody's listening. Come on. They don't care.
I'll pray you.
I'll pray you.
Spot.
Joe Espada. How many of you want Omar Lopez to take over?
That's all, yeah, I do.
He was the Venezuela coach. He's been the Astros assistant head coach for a while. I don't know what's going on, but it sure seems like somebody's head about to roll. So I hate to say it, but I don't know what it is.
The physical therapist.
The physical therapist, right? I mean,
I second that.
it's like, yeah, maybe the physical therapist. Yeah, maybe so. Well, we'll see if things get turned around. I mean, Hunter Brown will be back when in June,
Maybe.
Yeah.
and Christian Javier. Maybe.
It depends on what's wrong with them, is what they say is wrong.
Yeah. With
Track
Javier.
record being wrong, so
Yeah.
probably know Hunter Brown could have lost a leg or something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
When's Pena coming back?
I don't know.
See you, fire.
When Alvarez goes down.
We bring
Go ahead, Scott.
We're in charge of the Giants back in the 90s. Dave Trebecki would have had right arm discomfort.
Dave Trebecki, that's right. Right arm discomfort. That's right. Goodness. Okay. If you have not, who plans on going to Saber 54 in Cleveland? 3 of us? Maybe. The end of the July 29th through August 2nd. Every year, a couple of us from the chapter go to a minor league game.
You got it. I was like,
Okay. This time it's the Lake County Captains. It's about 15 minutes right outside of Cleveland. So if you want to go, I'm thinking either Tuesday or Wednesday. Herb told me he's not getting into town till Wednesday. So maybe we'll have to move some stuff around, Herb, and think of another night. Sunday afternoon, maybe. Depends on if they're okay. But we always usually go to a minor league game. So if you're going to Saber 54, I hope you join me. Early registration is still going on. So they have a lot of great stuff. There's a historical tour of all the different ballparks and teams and things like that going on this year. And the game is the Guardians versus Diamondbacks, I think, on Saturday night. So if you've ever been to Indian Stadium, Guardians, see, I did it again. Guardian Stadium. I will be wearing my Cleveland Indians Joe Carter jersey. I don't care what anybody says. But I'll wear it.
Yeah.
So please join us. That's right. No, he played for the Indians too.
Don't you have a Vaughn jersey?
He wore number 30. Huh?
Don't you have a Vaughn jersey?
A Vaughn? I have a Vaughn hat, Major League. So
Got to get a jersey.
yeah. And those of you who are interested, you can do a lot of cool stuff with Saber. Saber just announced that they're doing an all-time eras team. And what this means is throughout the season, SABR members have a chance to vote on SABR's all-time eras team as we celebrate 150 years of baseball and American history since the founding of the National League. There will be 6 all-time eras ballots released throughout the season. If you are a member, you can vote for players at every position on the diamond. Each ballot will culminate with a virtual Zoom webinar, which includes a presentation covering that era of American history prior to the unveiling of the team chosen by SABR members. The first round of voting started on the 17th. So that was a couple days ago. The first round is the deadball, the 19th century era and the deadball era. You can vote on players from those 2 eras. May 29th will be the segregation era, 1920 to 1946. July 24th, the integration era, 1947 to 1972. Free agency era will begin on August 21st, and the modern era begins October 2nd. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with SABR. This is one of those cool things. You can vote on your favorite 19th century player in between now and May 13th. If you want to have a chance to do that. It is on SABR's website.
How many times was votes?
I believe only one. Yeah, so Bob, you can only vote for King Kelly one time. King Kelly, very famous 19th century player who our first guest speaker of the night probably knows a lot about. So without further ado, that kind of goes right into our first guest speaker, Jude Butler. Jude graduated from University of Kansas, Rock Chalk, right? Rock Chalk, Jude?
Rock Chalk, Jayhawk.
Okay, so from Kansas, got a master's in history. I wonder if you know somebody went to grad school. He teaches at Kansas now. Timothy Orville did. He teaches at Kansas. So
Okay, I'll have to look into them.
all right. He's a history professor out there. So as a historian, Jude researched early baseball in Kansas and plans to pursue a PhD in continuing to research baseball and its cultural influence. Past year, he's lived in Lawrence, working as a behavior technician in special education at the elementary school level. He coaches juniors rowing program in Kansas City and works with the Watkins Museum of History on several projects, including an application to register a local baseball stadium on the National Register of Historic Places. He began the SABR Town Ball Research Committee after becoming more involved with SABR after SABR 53 last summer, and he connected with many of us, many former Texas SABRites, including myself and the Banks Reagan chapter. He says, barring a bump off a grad program wait list, Jude does plan on moving back to Texas, centering his projects where he grew up in Fort Worth, coinciding with his previous efforts to revive the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame, which is one of those things that Jude will talk about tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Jude Butler.
All right, thank you. Just on that bump, I actually didn't get into any programs, unfortunately, so starting another application cycle, but I am planning to move back to Texas. I'm very excited for some of these projects. Chris, I have a slideshow that I was going to prepare, or I had prepared. I just wanted to make sure that I had sharing permissions.
Yes,
Can you turn it up or put the...
I don't have slides.
Huh?
Don't got that.
Oh, you can't hear it, Bob?
It's not too loud.
Oh, it's too loud. How are you saying it's too loud?
That's a new one. Usually it's not loud enough.
Go to OneDrive. All right, 1 second, everyone. Trying to get this slideshow that I have prepared set up for y'all.
Caption's on, yes. Any up? No, you're not that like. Zoom did a major update in the last month and a half, so hopefully that's not changing either.
All right, getting there.
By the way, everybody, H2 Astros, probably
Chris, it's not showing me an option to share my OneDrive. Actually, hold on. Let's see if that does it.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do on this end. It's, once you get it open, you should be able to share from Zoom.
Let's see. It's giving me an option for OneDrive, so I'm going to try and share this presentation to my OneDrive. We'll see if that. Oh, goodness gracious.
Have it locally, Joe.
Okay. Hold on. Almost there.
Hey, sure, well, but for sugar, I didn't say it. So I that was it, and then it's right, I'll choose a, or another one, we're trying to graduate us, say, but.
Let's see. I'm going to try one more thing, Joe, and then I'll send the presentation to Chris if that's easier. But let's see if this works.
Oh, I forgot to talk about figure out sound that presentation lines. So when I can tell, like, misrepresentation for everybody. Sure.
If you just give us ready, you can talk.
If you need a few minutes, I can say something else. Dude, that sucks. What we need.
Let's see. I think I got it. I think I got it.
Oh, so this, that's fine.
All right. Let me know if everyone can. Oh, let me log in.
Yeah, two hours. Very sure it's not like it. Why that's right. Yeah.
Oh, this is you never. Sorry about this, everybody. On this person.
Yeah. What did you start with? Well, it's still around us around the toward the college.
Right. It's for Yankees. That's a little different than the science.
All right.
Here we go, everyone.
Okay, here we go. Can everyone see the screen? I can sort of see it.
That's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. Today I'll be talking a little bit about some of the public history journey that I've been on, and it kind of led me to the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame. And this has really been kind of just a journey of my experiences in baseball history and what got me connected to Sabres. So just kind of give a little preface to where this started. I first started researching baseball when I was in high school. I focused on the Fort Worth Cats and kind of their cultural importance to the city. And I also had a family connection to the Fort Worth Cats. My great grandmother, Ruth Platt, worked at LaGrave Field and was an usher for the Texas Rangers at Globe Life Park. And my great grandfather was an educator. He worked at the college level, and he loved collecting political memorabilia, and he had some sports stuff as well. And one of those was this 1923 MVP trophy for the Texas Leagues in the Dixie Series. It was won by shortstop from the Cats, Jack Kavanagh. And so really, I then went to KU where I started writing about baseball in Kansas. And as I shifted into a grad program, I was really interested in kind of circling back to Texas for grad school. So before I was getting into grad school, let's see. Okay, there we go. I started researching during the summer prior, so reading baseball books to kind of get a sense of the historiography and what's been written, and also kind of paying close attention to some of the city development projects in Fort Worth. I know that like before COVID, there was an interest in trying to get LaGrave Field active again and activity in the stadium, whether that was a baseball team or just community events. There was a real push from community members in Fort Worth. There was this big Facebook group that was putting together money, and COVID essentially killed their efforts. But when I came in, and 2024 now. I learned about the Panther Island project, which is this big Riverwalk district that Fort Worth is planning to develop to connect downtown to the stockyards. And then on top of that, there is like a private and public investment project into this expanding the stockyards between like a private interest group in the city. They've put upwards of $1 billion into kind of expanding this to be the Panther Island and the stockyards as a like a big cultural and entertainment district for the city of Fort Worth. And that kind of takes me to LaGrave Field, and it was kind of on shaky ground that summer in 2024. I also spent a lot of time networking, trying to figure out what efforts needed to happen to help preserve the stadium. And so I reached out to Gary Gillette, who's a very involved SABR member he was the chair and founder of the Hamtramck Historic Stadium in Hamtramck, Michigan, where I believe, the black baseball team that played there is escaping me. But anyways, he was very instrumental in kind of helping me out and understanding some of the fundraising efforts, organizing people to kind of look at grants and some of the heavy research that can kind of help fund projects as well. So he was super helpful. I also reached out to the Fort Worth City Council, the Tarrant Regional Water District that owned the property that LaGrave Field's currently on, and then reporters and community members. And then as I came across the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame in Bill O'Neill's Texas League book, I started looking up, what this was. When I first typed it into the search engine, Texas Sports Hall of Fame came up, and if I scroll down a little bit more, I ended up finding the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame's website, which is now down, unfortunately. There's a lot of good information that I was able to kind of glean to, kind of put together some of the pieces of what happened to the organization. But that's kind of what led me to also reaching out to the Houston SABR chapter for the first time. Over the summer, I talked with Tom Kennedy, who kind of was involved with the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame and some of the fallout of it. He kind of shared some of the items that were on display at the Fingers Museum, and the collections that he came across when George Harlan, who was the official photographer for the Texas Leagues, he passed away, and his widow came and provided all of the negatives from the photos that he had taken from his time recording the Texas League. So Tom ended up donating those to the University of Houston's library. So that's where those are located now. It kind of just gave me a lot of other people to reach out to, so it was super helpful. And then I had another conversation with a Houston SABR member, Bob Durrell, who also kind of explained the fallout of the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame. So Bill McCurdy, who was the president, passed away a couple years prior to me researching this, and so unfortunately I wasn't able to reach out to anyone that was directly involved after the organization kind of dissolved. But essentially, what Bob had shared with me was they tried to set up a induction ceremony at Minute Maid Park, and they didn't get a whole lot of money from it. It wasn't a well-attended event, and this was at the stadium prior to a game. So he said that it cost about $25,000 to rent, and the organization had nowhere close to that money. So they ended up getting, or the Houston, the Astros Hall of Fame and their kind of museum, they collected a lot of the Houston related stuff that the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame had, and a lot of that stuff is still kind of floating out there. So part of my efforts will be to track some of that down. But let's continue. So over the summer, I kind of went straight to work, kind of imagining what the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame at LaGrave would look like. So I kind of had a little vision and mission statement that I was really wanting to kind of revive this project, and also kind of start a museum that's dedicated specifically to baseball in Texas, amateurs to semi-professional to pro, to kind of provide a space to preserve the legacy of baseball history in the Lone Star State. So I just have a couple slides from my slide deck that I created with kind of like a pitch for the presentation very early on. So I'll just kind of skim through these. So just some more information about the history of the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame. It was originally started by George Sheps in 1978. And it operated out of DFW. And as some of those guys got older, George Sheps passed away, Bill McCurdy took over, and I believe it was in 2007 is when they transferred to Houston. So, the idea behind this is to kind of, find people that are interested in fundraising, people that are involved in public history in the baseball world. I had some conversations with Dr. Leighton Ravel, who does a lot of great work out in, he's also based in Texas, but I know he moves around a lot. I know he just helped set up the Negro League Baseball Museum in Birmingham. That was just opened recently. So anyways, I put together all of these kind of networking contacts and kind of started developing some ideas on how this project could come to fruition. So fundraising, business and museum advising, artifact collection, and kind of legal and financial services that come with setting up a nonprofit organization, a museum, and everything else that comes with it. And I had a lot more going kind of more in depth into each of these, but the project and what I had imagined as kind of a way to also revive the LaGrave field by having this kind of museum that had a larger state importance. That was kind of my idea, but quickly I learned that that was not a possibility. Very early on in the summer, I reached out to the Tarrant Regional Water District, and I got involved in a conversation with one of their board members, and he had essentially told me that the board of directors had already kind of unanimously decided that they were going to sell the land to private developers. Not entirely sure what the plan is currently for that, but when I was told this information, it killed kind of a lot of the momentum that I had and my goal for this project. And the other thing that really stung was this was a month before the Regional Water District held a community meeting to hear from the people of Fort Worth that really cared about the cats. There was a lot of people that came to the meeting really impassioned, and it was heartbreaking to read some of the stories about the people that attended, and knowing that a month prior those decisions had already been made. So unfortunately, this kind of caused me to shift gears and think about other ways that I could preserve LaGrave before demolition. So at this point, we're kind of nearing the end of the summer, and I'm about to start my master's program up at KU. And there was a couple things that happened. First, when I started my master's program, I started kind of flipping through the syllabi that I had and quickly shifted what I wanted to research during the grad program. I was initially wanted to do Texas baseball, but I had already done so much with Kansas baseball. I had all this kind of background and context that kind of made sense to continue pushing forward. So I didn't necessarily put the Texas baseball stuff on hold. I actually still had plenty of conversations and kind of just shifted, instead of preserving LaGrave and taking some massive steps with the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame, I was looking more at preservation efforts. So working with the Fort Worth City Council, I wanted to put together a historical marker for LaGrave Field. So really cool that you guys were talking about your historical marker. Back in November of 2024, I put together a historical narrative and had everything ready for the application to be sent off to the Texas State Historical Association to approve the application, and the people that I was working with at City Council didn't send it in time. Dragged our feet, missed the March deadline. Coming up on 2025, there was some shifts in some of the people that I was working with directly for the council member whose district LaGrave presides in. There was a shift in his interns, and they said that they had everything, and it sounds like kind of some similar issues with you guys and the delaying of when you guys actually wanted to get the historical marker, like it didn't go through again. So I'm going to kind of switch, and when I move back down to Texas, kind of take the historical marker application into my own hands so that I know that it gets done. But as I was going through the grad program, there was also some other people that I reached out to when I was looking at the Texas Secretary of State's office and who had activated the organization as a 501c3. I came across a group in Frisco who has the same, one of them had the same last name as an individual that was involved with the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame. They were completely unrelated, but I had some meetings with this group and told them my interest in getting it back started back up, and I thought that they were going to help me with that. One of them was a CPA in DFW and was going to kind of help me with some of the filings to get the organization started as a 501c3, but I got ghosted, which I just never heard from him again. In January of 2025, there was just no connection. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm on my own. Was knee deep in grad work that was unrelated to Texas baseball. So I kind of had to put it off. But there was an email that came across to me about some of the demolition efforts. And the regional water district was auctioning off stadium seats. So I was able, again, I was in Lawrence, not able to pick them up. I was able to kind of figure out the logistics, and I got a big grouping of like 22 different seats that are kind of just sitting around in Texas waiting for me to do something with them. But I have a couple different ideas. One, I'd love them to be seating at a museum of some kind, some for personal use, but also I'm a big fan of public history and public art projects. So there was an artist that I found out about whose name is Will Johnson, and he's a guitarist that plays backup and supports Jason Isbell, and I think he's in the UK right now, but he is the one that painted this photo of Larry Durker. And so this is his artwork, and he does a lot of kind of baseball art on commission. And so back while I was in grad school, I reached out to him about the possibility of kind of painting the history of LaGrave Field on some of these seats. So that's one of the things that I'm wanting to do as I get this project restarted back this summer, and I'm moving back down. So this kind of just leads me to some of my next steps in reviving my Texas projects. So on the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame end, the first thing is finding a group of board members and kind of divvying out roles and responsibilities. I'll very quickly after that be setting up the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame as a 501c3. And then the next biggest thing is just networking with the Texas baseball community. I know several people in Fort Worth that care a lot about the Cats, whether they were directly involved with them, just big fans. One of them, Mark Presswood, who was a part owner of the Cats when they were an independent team in the early 2000s. He has the largest collection of Fort Worth baseball history and so much stuff just kind of collecting dust at his house. And I have these early conversations with him about my interests, and he was wanting a place to put all of his things. And he's done some little special exhibits at or just museums around Fort Worth, but was kind of looking for something a little bit more. So networking is going to be a really big thing early on. And then, at first I was like, museum, let's go big. Through some of my more recent experiences with running groups and things like that, I know that there's a longer runway, and a lot of people, when I shared this information with them, they were like, I think you're in way over your head, talking about the museum and all this stuff very early on. And I got where they were coming from. But also at the same time, my kind of initial presentations on this was really just to kind of drum up an interest and find people that were wanting to take maybe a more involved step in the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame. So kind of early on, once we get the organization set up, I'd love to do some different activities, just kind of thinking along the lines of the public arts project and public history, different special exhibits that we could pop up from personal collections, and after tracking down some of the artifacts and things like that, and hopefully having some displays, social media campaigns, and then fundraising is going to be a big one. Could we get the Rangers or the Astros involved with the Texas leagues now? Would they be interested in kind of being involved with this project? I think that there's a lot of kind of big money in baseball that would be interested in this project, but there's a lot of work for the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame to develop before some of those bigger investors come in and take time to also be a part of the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame. So some of the other projects that I'm looking at doing, making sure that LaGrave Field historical marker gets set up. I had everything, including the location that was okayed with the regional water district, the people that owned it, the city of Fort Worth, all that. So hopefully putting that together. Also researching town teams, and then the Grave Seat Public Art Project with Will Johnson. So I'll be reaching out to him soon to kind of put that together. Okay, that was a lot. Now, kind of switching gears and shifting to a completely different project, but this kind of goes along with some of the research that I'm looking to do with some of the town teams in Black baseball in Fort Worth. So, and this brings me to the SABR Town Ball Research Committee, which was started just this year. We had our first committee meeting in January. And just to kind of share a little bit more about what we do, the Town Ball Committee strives to conduct thorough research on baseball and its cultural significance to towns and local communities, while town ball blurs the line between amateur and professional baseball. The committee's approach to research seeks to answer how baseball shaped local communities, and then in turn, how those communities shaped baseball. By maintaining a broad definition for town ball research, the committee encourages collaboration with other research groups to create a more complex understanding of baseball's impact on American culture. So kind of just expand a little bit on our mission statement, this broad definition of town ball, that some of the terms that we are using to identify some of these teams is something that the organization is still trying to figure out and get on the same page on. Some people have a very strict definition for town ball. Others have kind of wider interests, and so a broader definition kind of supports them and some of their research endeavors as well. So that's something that we're kind of continuing to hone in on in this first year as we're kind of defining terms for the teams that we're researching. So meeting frequency and some of our community activities. So right now, we are having quarterly meetings. So we actually just had our second meeting just last weekend. And then we also have bi-monthly research group sessions. So this has been research workshops, and these are things that I've hosted. I put a couple of presentations together, just kind of discussing some of our database updates, but also how to do some of this research, resources, books, things of that nature, kind of analytical frameworks for kind of writing about some of these teams as well and researching. So more of those to come. Those research workshops are going to kind of change into just work sessions, just to kind of offer opportunities monthly for the group to connect and discuss some of their research endeavors. And then the big community activities. So all committees in SABR have some sort of project that they work on. For us, it is building out a database that is quite the undertaking. For those that are familiar with Protoball, this research project could end up being larger than that, just with how many teams each city or town have that we would define as town ball teams, which again, that definition is sort of evolving. But also research articles and publications is another big thing. There's a lot of big scholars, especially from Kansas baseball, that have written a ton that have become involved with the committee. So I'm excited some of the research that we're producing. So some of the longer term goals, just building out our involvement. Joe has done a really great job with the Houston SABR chapter. So this is just my second year with SABR, but kind of just learning from some of these committees and chapters and how they're run to kind of improve our own committee and grow our involvement. I'd like to create a newsletter to kind of talk about some of the town ball teams that are still active today. There's a couple members, especially up in Minnesota, where it's really big now, that might be interested in kind of sharing about some of the recent developments in town ball. different research highlights and fun stories and just kind of important upcoming events for the committee. So that's something I'm in the works with one of our committee members. And then also down the road, like establishing scholarships and research awards and kind of figuring out some of the grant work for supporting the database and some of the needs of the community moving forward. So those are some of our activities. And I want to invite any of you guys that are interested in looking at maybe your local history and kind of researching that to join us in those endeavors. This is kind of just something I pulled together really quickly on some of the Black town teams that were in Houston in the pre-1900s. So between 1880 to 1900, James Brunson was able to find 7 different Black baseball teams that played in Houston at the time. They weren't semi-professional. If someone could prove me wrong and show some ringers or some of the payments and maybe they had some more professional aspects to their organization, but from what I've gathered from these, they're mostly amateur baseball clubs that played each other. Segregation limited the integrated baseball playing that was happening at the time in other states. But these are the kinds of teams that this committee is kind of looking to take on. Let's see. I don't have too much to share. That's it. I'd love to kind of hear from you guys now, answer any questions about the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame or the Town Ball Committee, and kind of just open it up and hear from you guys.
Hey, Jude, my question about the Town Ball Committee. So are you looking for people to find references to Town Ball? And is that the kind of stuff you're looking for?
Yeah, so right now, even the kind of data that we're looking to track in the database is something that I'm kind of in open conversations with, and we haven't quite landed on that yet. But yeah, I'm definitely looking to find people that are interested in kind of uncovering some of these teams, because when you get into the newspapers and you start going down some of these rabbit holes, you find some really cool information. So just for example, the baseball stadium in Lawrence that I wrote a historical narrative for, there was a bean canning plant right over left field, and during the 1970s, Bill James worked the night shifts as a security guard at the Stokely bean canning plant behind the stadium. And when he was at KU and working there, he was spending time writing about baseball and analytics, and so that's where some of his first baseball guides came out, was from the research that he was doing as a security guard at the bean canning plant. But just stories like that I think are just really cool that you don't find out unless you're kind of digging deep. So would love to find some people that are interested from your chapter and kind of uncovering some of these early teams that SABR kind of has this emphasis on the major leagues and professional baseball. But I really think that there's a massive space to kind of explore some of the semi-professional and amateur clubs that had really important people that impacted the communities around them and also the baseball community, and has kind of shaped it to be what it is today.
There is one reference that I found a long time ago. Dr. S.O. Young, I've got it right here. True Stories of Old Houston and Houstonians. It's about his time growing up in Houston in the 1850s. And this was published in 1913. But I remember reading specifically how he would talk about walking up and down the streets of Houston in the 1850s and seeing kids play town ball.
That's really cool.
So it's called True Stories of Old Houston and Houstonians by Dr. S.O. So There's one for you. There you go. Go down that rabbit hole.
Hey, Jude, this is Bob Durrell. How about
Hi.
you? Right, good. Appreciate your presentation. I'm more interested in the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame. I guess I'm the last former director of that organization before collapse. I'd love for you to call me, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. And when you talk, you can bring up to date how SABR sponsored a plaque for a baseball game at Colt 45 Stadium. And they paid for that sucker. We're very proud of. It's going to go up in the next 6 months. I got some other information about Mike Vance and other people who might be able to help you. So give me a call. You got my number?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny as you guys were sharing some of the names of people that you guys are involved with, whether that's in the committee or having as guest speakers, thinking Mike Acosta, Mike Vance. Yeah, these are all people. It's like, as I was looking over my notes from about my conversation with you and Tom Kennedy, it's funny, like these names started ringing a bell. But yeah, absolutely. Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll definitely reach out to you and we can plan a call.
All right, Jude, thank you very much.
All right.
Sorry. Never mind. Hold on. Gloria, you got a question?
Yeah, I mean, I can't see you, Jude, but I guess you're there somewhere.
I'm here.
Okay.
Somewhere.
I'm curious if you know about the exhibit that's going on in Houston right now on black baseball from the 1800s on.
No, I do not. I'll have to look into that.
It's called Tradesman's Town and Baseball.
Tradesman's Town and Baseball. All right.
Friedman.
That makes more sense.
And it was actually somebody when they on opening night, the guest speaker was somebody either from Dallas or Fort Worth, who apparently is quite knowledgeable on the history of black ball in Texas. And probably the news stories have his name. I can't remember it. But anyway, quite an exhibit.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely have to take a look at that. Thank you.
You want to share that with everybody, Gloria?
Pardon me?
You want to share that with everybody? Because Mike wants to know. Go ahead.
Where is it?
What?
Where is it?
Freedman's Town, 4th Ward.
Oh, I know that. Location with.
I don't know. It said, they've restored some of the old houses there.
Yeah.
And the exhibit is in 2 of those houses that is right next door to the Freedman's Town Conservancy office. And it's right across the street, I think, from the old Gregory School.
Okay.
That's West downtown.
Right.
Hall of Fame question. You get memorabilia and get this thing rolling, where is it going to be located in your mind?
Yeah, that's a great question. To be honest, as I got into my grad program and started thinking about PhD programs, like I was like, oh, I'd love for it to be in Fort Worth. That's kind of my bias, but I know that I'm not likely going to get my PhD in Texas. So I'd love to stay involved with the organization, but I know that it might be something that eventually I have to kind of pass it over to. So I know that my biases can't really kind of influence that decision. I'm really open to wherever that makes the most sense, where funding is, where the support is. So, I know that, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, even San Antonio, there's a lot of history and people that would love for it to be like in their location. But, I'll just kind of see where that goes as the project develops. I'm really kind of open.
All right, Jude. Thank you. Thank you again.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you to the person that is sharing some of the information about the Black Baseball exhibit in the chat. So thank you.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
I found the address, Bob. It's 1204 Victor Street.
1204 Victor Street.
Yeah.
It's in the chat too.
It's in the chat as well. And on we'll put it in the notes. Okay. Thank you, Jude.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, real quick. You got my PowerPoint? I have a PowerPoint, and I will kind of talk about something real quick, and it'll go right into our next speaker. Okay.
Let me share the screen. See how this is.
There goes. So far. No guard, yeah. It works.
All right. Y'all see that online? Okay. As you all know, Astros Nation lost two, I call them legends. I call them Astro legends. First, it was Davey Lopes, right? They passed away first. Ah, that's not. So. Yes, it is. All right, first of all, it was Davey Lopes that passed first for crap. Then a few days later, it was Phil Garner.
Interesting, you got Reynolds sliding in, Garner.
I found that online as well. This is why you can say what you want about Davey Lopes, but I do not recognize that team from Blue in the West Coast. I know he spent the majority, but this is the 1986 Houston Astros. Any member that spent 10 minutes on that team is an Astros legend to me. Okay? Because this was my favorite team. And I know what people say, but here is Davey Lopes. Right here. And there was one picture. There's Phil Garner. Yeah. Phil Garner right there. 86 club. So, huh? Front row guy. Appreciate it. The memorial the funeral service was today, right, Bob? Yeah. 1 o'clock? Yeah. Okay. So, anybody have the reason I'm asking, Scott has told me we're looking for articles for the newsletter, right? We need some articles for the newsletter. If you have a story about Phil Garner, if you have a story about Davey Lopes, even when he was with that club in LA, please share that. I don't care if you have a memory, if it's 100 to 100 words, we need articles for the upcoming newsletter, which will come out, in about a week, 2 weeks? Scott? About 2 weeks?
It's the end of the month. Yeah.
The end of this month, so 10 days. Share what you want. Anybody ever have a conversation with Phil Garner? Anybody? You can share anything, okay? If you want to share something about the 86 club, or maybe something you know about Davey Lopes, or if you want to share something about the 2005 Astros.
I can tell you one thing about Phil Garner. He lived in Kingwood, I believe, first. And, the Houston police saved their whole family. Their house caught on fire. And this is about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. He banged on the front door and got him up. And Phil was really, grateful to his police officers. Yeah. House burned.
I remember. Anybody else? Yeah, go ahead.
Originated the street named Lopes.
I know, but I'm just saying that to be funny.
He hit 98 times for the Astros, and 1 hit, a triple, and 2 doubles, and 23 hits, 98 bats.
Legend.
It's
Legend.
That's more hits than anybody else here had.
Legend. Especially right now.
And then there's 35 for the Astros.
Legend, 86 team.
I heard a nice story today. A friend of mine, Joe Pedro, lived in Kingwood, and he coached Phil Garner's kids. But during those floods in the early 90s, he had a house down on the San Jacinto River. They were unpacking everything out of his house because They moved it up the attic, there was a house put in. And Phil Garner came down to help. But he had on white shoes and says, I'm not a lifter, I'm more of a. But there was a guy carrying, and a hunter, they carried out like 12 guns. Phil helped him with the guns, and he asked him to store my gun for me. And Garner took his guns. I was talking to Joe today, he's on his way to tell me this story. And anyway, he got hunting season next year, he got his guns back from Garner. Garner had every one of them wrapped, polished, his teams had individual guns, sacks for each one, and just was a real nice guy.
Bob, correct me if I'm wrong. You told me a long time ago that Phil Garner was supposed to speak to us one day. And the whole time that you were president, is this the only time this happened for a guest what happened with Garner?
For 18 years, I helped put together speakers who came to our meeting. And we had some really prominent people, presidents of the American League and National League, general managers, you name it. So we only had one person who did not show up as scheduled. Bill Garner. Now, funny part of it is that Dave Raymond was in the audience that day. Radio announcer, television announcer. And he called Bill about 10 minutes after the meeting started, saying, where the heck are you? And Bill said, I totally forgot. It's my mistake. I am so sorry. And they said, no problem. I know enough stories about you to take up the whole hour. And he did. But that's pretty funny. But Bill called me the next day. He could have been more apologetic. Could have been more upset. He would let up that. And he said, if you will allow me, I mean, I'll come to another piece for it. If you will allow me to go. Yeah, he was a gentleman, great guy. He showed up for me. We can set time again. Sorry.
All right.
And one more thing. Last season, that team had a celebration for Phil Garner at Dyken Park. They had a suite.
The Astros?
Yeah, we celebrated his 74th birthday, I believe. Yeah, something like that. And Bob got invited to the 10. And I got to drive there, so I got to go to the suite and everything. And you can just tell the players that were there just loved the guy. And had a great family and everything. And you know, it was an afternoon game. So before the game, he got to throw out the first pitch, and they ran a big video, you know, on Dyken Park on the screen and everything. The crowd that was there was very appreciative of what he did for Houston baseball.
So, yeah, exactly. So tonight, if you got a few moments, think about Phil Garner's family, Davey Lopes and his family. Also, another bit of sad news coming out of the chapter. Y'all know Fred that usually sits right over there? Fred Sullivan?
Oh, yeah.
His father passed away this morning. So you can just keep Fred and his family also in your thoughts and prayers today. So
How old was Garner and MiLB?
Garner was 70. Okay, and Lopes was 80. Yeah.
Yeah, and Garner was 76 on April 27th or something like that.
Yeah.
He goes
80, I think. 81.
No, he's gonna be 77. He was 76.
No, it's Lopes. Davey Lopes?
No.
Garner. Okay, but Lopes was 80. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That being said, the guy that usually is sitting right there, the one that didn't get a chance to introduce himself today, is a former major leaguer. Darian is a 2018 draft pick of the Los Angeles Angels. Okay. You made an impact professional baseball. You recorded 64 innings pitched and 67 strikeouts in the Angel system. You played baseball for 7 years professionally. So no stolen valor like last month. He actually played. You can find him on Baseball Reference. Okay? And he played for such respected organizations. Man, I love minor league names. That's all I'm going to say. The Claiborne Railroaders, the Florence Yalls, as in, you know, y'all, us Texans, what we see, y'all's. The Idaho Falls Chuckers, is that right? And the Windy City Thunderbolts. Before becoming pro, he was recognized as Prairie View A&M's University's Pitcher of the Year in 2017 and 2018, one of the top arms in the program. Today, Darian combines his professional playing experience with years of coaching and athlete development, including side work with the Houston Astros Urban Youth Academy and elite training facility. Through speaking, coaching, and mentorship, he shares lessons on resilience, disciplines, confidence, handling pressure, and what it truly takes to perform at an elite level. Ladies and gentlemen, the brand new cleanup hitter for the Houston Babies.
Came to our booth at FanFest.
He came to our booth at FanFest.
Ever, Gary?
You know what? That Jose Cruz guy that also showed up, he was second fiddle to this dude. Everybody, Darren Williams.
A little nervous. I'll keep it. Darian Williams from Bryan, Texas, right down the road. Not an Aggie. I went to a sister property school, actually, Prairie View A&M. I looked at my email, and I was a SABR member in 2023. I went to the Nashville convention that year, I think, in the winter, remotely. Signed up then, had membership. And then I saw my email also in 2024. It says my member have been revoked. I didn't pay my bill. But no, I'm happy to be here. This wasn't about myself professionally. I played Prairie View all 4 years. Didn't think I'll be there all 4 years. I was about to back my junior year. I think I asked for too much money my junior year. And my senior year, I got to the Angels and played a couple years for the Angels. COVID happened and they gave me my release. They sent us all home. They called me in May. They said, hey, we're going to release you. COVID has, we're going to cut a few levels and we want the guys going to play. And so I had Tommy John right after that. They took care of it. Played some independent baseball. Those were all the teams that he mentioned. Cleveland, which is right next to Fort Worth, south of that. Idaho Falls, Florence Yards, that's in Kentucky. Neuro, Cincinnati. And then my last one being yes, Windy City Thunderbolts. I hated that place. Yeah. Just for those teams being just like keeping it all baseball. I love being a part of the Astros fan base and just being around like the Houston baseball world. A very close friend of mine who I can call right now and talk to is first base coach for the Astros, David Evans. He's a very close friend of mine, my family's. Just being a part of the Urban Youth Academy also, the Bob Watson Center or Academy. I'm a very, very close friend of his daughters. She's an older woman, but she's very active in the community. And we do a lot of events for his family and for the Astros, and also for her kids. And the reason I wanted to be here today is because I wanted to join, a group of people who have the same goals, same mission in mind about, not just, enjoying baseball, but also pushing it forward and keeping it here present. I think sometimes people forget that baseball is America's game, and I want to be a part of something that, keeps pushing it forward. And so, if anybody has any questions, I am happy to answer any kind of questions.
I have a question. Do you play independent ball?
Yes.
That takes a special mindset to keep going in that. What was driving you to do that?
So what drove me was the fact that I did play minor league ball, and I did feel like I was still good enough to play. I didn't get at least through my ability. I got to get COVID. Being if I, was doing really, really well. Just to drive, I didn't want to work. I didn't feel like getting a 9-to-5, right? I didn't self-job. So that was.
And why did you stop? Just because there was
all the teams I played for, there's a lot of bouncing around.
Yeah.
And I'm 29. I do want to settle down.
I think my family. And so I had a great job offer and couldn't pass it up. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Garrett Anderson.
I seen Garrett walk past in the locker room halls. I never talked to him, never met him. Saw a lot of guys, met a lot of guys in the Angels, but never met a person.
So what was your most memorable thing that you played and why? What are you telling your children about?
It wasn't a game. It was a It was a guy named Joe. He's right for the interview. I did not like support, right?
Nobody wanted to.
He just talked a lot of we were just going back and forth one day in the locker room, and he said some things, I said some things to him. He's friendly dancers. And when I was rehabbing from Tommy John, he was rehabbing from an injury as well. So, we had to face each other on the mound and the backfield was a MiLB complex. And I had him like 2-2. And I threw a splitter and he just swung straight through it. And so now the count's 2-2 now. And I just knew I was gonna get him. It slipped out of my hand, he hit the ball 109 miles an hour off that and straight to the fence. And so that right there is very memorable for me because I can't let that go. Yes.
Were you a starter or reliever?
I was starting in college, reliever and pro ball. I never pitched growing up. I just threw really, really hard. When I signed my scholarship to go to Prairie View, it was to be a hitter. I only pitched 2 innings my freshman year. The next year, that coach got fired, and the new coach wanted me to pitch because there was really no talent at Prairie View, honestly. So I was a two-way. I did kind of terrible, actually, my sophomore year, pitching-wise. And then my junior year, going into my junior year, I played for the Grass Valley Bombers, which is a TCO, a college league in Texas. And I don't know how hard I threw, but I topped out of 93 that year. And the Angels in the White Sox in the stands. And like, you want to pitch, you want to hit? I don't know what I want to do, actually. I'm not even a pitcher. And so I became a pitcher only my junior year, and the velocity kept going up and up and up. And so, yeah.
What's the most pitches? How many pitches in the game? What's the highest?
Like miles per hour or like amount of pitches?
It's the amount of pitches.
That's counts.
Probably like 110 maybe. Oh yeah.
Pretty good, I said.
Brian Rudder. It's a newer school in Bryan, maybe like 15 years old. So did Tommy John end your career or prolong it? I injured my UCL going into my last year with the Angels. I had my MRI. The next week, COVID spread across the US, and then they cut me like a month later. And then since I heard it earning their care, they have to pay for it. So that's good. Okay.
Can you tell us about the youth academy? Like, what's a typical week?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What do you do day to day?
Yeah. So it's from 5 o'clock until 9 p.m. So all of us have full-time jobs, and we go out whenever we have time to help kids out. Any kid in Houston can sign up to play for free. There's coaches just like me who play pro ball or college or high school, and we go out. We set up the field, and some days it's the young kids, some days it's high school kids, and it's just either they're playing against each other while we're coaching them and helping them along. So it's like simulating. If there's teaching that needs to happen or done, we stop the game and say, hey, you should have done this right, fix this, whatever. Some other weeks is strictly training where we have I'm like one of the pitching guys there. So mechanical work, we have hitting guys. So the strength mechanics and just making sure that they're doing great. Bryce Matthews, he went through the academy. This is like another guy also. Another guy, they said, went through, he just made the major. Some other guy. I think he made his debut last year. But he came through the academy, and another lefty, I think it's a Triple-A right now, went through the academy. So it's a really great program for people who are not privileged enough to pay for certain teams. And
Mason Wynn, did he go to the academy?
Mason Wynn.
Yeah, I think Mason Wynn Did. He's infielder, right?
Yeah, hard.
Yeah, I think his picture is on the wall. It's either his picture or Jordan Hicks. They look like teams, but one of them is on the wall.
Is this the field up on North Shepherd?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with streets of Houston, but it's in Acre Homes, if that's what you're talking
That's
about.
nearby. That's the Jimmy Wynn field?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Vegas played out there.
So Cameron Foster is the other one? That went to the youth academy, Cameron Foster, he made Stiggy with the Warriors? I looked online,
Yeah,
Cameron Foster.
I think so. I'm not from, all the workers there, they're from Houston. I just started there like 3 years ago, so I'm still learning everybody, but I think that's who that is.
Okay. So if somebody's gone through the UCL, and I don't know if it's my imagination, but it seems like we're seeing that injury a whole lot more often.
Yeah.
So as a former pitcher, do you have any insights as to why that might be happening?
Lack of strength in certain areas of your arms. Like you want to be well balanced in every aspect of your arm. And also just like improper mechanics too. I didn't have the best mechanics. And so just all that into one, you have injuries, honestly, And then now it's back in the old days, you didn't see a lot of it. Now, like new days, you have like the baseballs and you have all the technology, and I kind of feel like it's like eye wash sometimes. And it just opens up the door for younger kids getting hurt because there's not a lot of development around it yet. So that's my honest feeling about it.
Who worked with you to help you become a pitcher when you were in college for work? A position. Who helped you change?
Yeah, we might change to become a pitcher only or
Yeah. I mean, she had.
I was kind of forced, honestly. There's, the head coach there, he felt like I was more beneficial as a pitcher only with the team, and so I would go to Premier Baseball in Tomball, Texas, and just get lessons from a pitching guru named
David Fly.
No, I forgot his last name. David Evans, I think, and another guy. So just species.
Questions?
What's your position with regard to the utilization of electronic review of pitches as a pitcher?
Like
John.
I'm a pitcher. I love it. We always think every pitcher throws a strike if he's on the corner. So, yeah.
Let me ask you about, are these young pitchers pitching too often?
Yes.
Throwing too many pitches, that's why we're having so many injuries.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It seems to be like, young game.
Yeah, a lot of them are throwing like yeah, exactly. I think they're throwing way too much. I think the parents are trying to market their kids a little bit too much also. And I think it's not good for the games because, they get hurt, the don't want to play anymore. And then now it's like baseball really at church. But it's really built from the parents that play them way too much.
Got a question, Darren. You have those pictures? I'm gonna ask you. You sent me a couple of pictures.
So
Not that.
I know.
Yes. Good. That in the game?
Sure. That was at Tempe Diablo Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, at the spring training field. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then the other one?
So you 67 strikeouts, 64 innings. What pitch do you have besides the fastball?
At that time, it was a slider and a splitter.
Okay, and you could throw those for strikes too, or the
Oh, no.
fastball. Okay. I would fastball and show those though. Okay.
I'm here for a reason. That was in Florence, Kentucky. That was my favorite team I played on. As you can see, it's a very photogenic place there. So yeah, that was actually one of my favorite seasons. That was my 3 lapses hardest in my career. And we had a lot of fun playing baseball. So yeah.
Go ahead. Perez and Bob.
So glad to hear. Can you tell us what a sweeper is and how does it differ from slider or curveball or whatever is closest? Pretty.
Yeah.
Yes.
This speak.
So what they call when they not shoot the guy
So not to like dumb it down, completely, but the best way I can explain it is you got your fastball here, you got the slider here, you got the sweeper here. It's really just imagine a banana.
Yes.
It's a huge banana is over the plate. That's the sweeper. And you cut that banana kind of in thirds, that's the slider. That's the best way I can possibly explain it.
It's a curveball.
Curveball is just 12-6. Or if you have a 12-6, or if you have a here to here, it's more of it's slower than the sweeper and the slider. It helps guys who go from over the top a lot more. If you go over the top, that curveball to the hitter's eye is very frightening because you have no idea what's coming from the very top of the angle of the river. So
what about the slur?
I had a slur, kind of. Ish, whatever you want to call it. Whatever came out of the hand that day. But it's I think people use that as like an excuse if they don't have like a sharp slider or a sharp curveball, like me. It's just in between, in my opinion.
Herb, you had something?
I was just gonna ask you about your career with the Angel system. How far up the ladder?
So I went from rookie ball to rookie ball advanced, which now is like low A. Not there for like a super long stint, but great development, great things like that. So I appreciated the time there. And I honestly just the college I came from, not many people have gotten picked up from my college at all. I think maybe 10 people in its history. So I was happy with that.
Good. Okay, so what exactly is the screwball? Do you remember that? So what's the screwball?
I have no idea.
Same. Okay.
It goes the other way. The right hander, his break ball goes to the left hand hitter. The screwball would break into the right hand.
But
Is my understanding.
Is that like a
who's the last person to throw?
Fernando threw a screwball.
It's a backward curve. Somebody's out there. But what is it? MI's pitch? That backward.
Pretty much what it is. It's like straight.
MI's pitch. Yeah, Thompson. It's kind of a backward. It's kind of a screwball. That backward.
He's got a screwball too.
Yeah.
It's one of my son's former teammates,
Dwayne Simmons.
Yeah, Dwayne Stone.
Yeah. Yes.
Gary, what do you do now? We'll say your profession. What do you do?
JP Morgan, I'm a relationship banker. So in a couple of weeks I gotta take my advising tests and licenses. And then when I pass those, I'll become an investment advisor. So
Okay, those are easy, so you should leave and get back to go through our house.
not a good break, man. That's a lot of studying. I hate studying. Yeah.
Well, we would like to invite you to join the Houston Babies as the cleanup. And Will, we would like to invite you to join the Houston Babies as the number 3 hitter. So thank you, Gary.
Well, thank you, sir.
Gary, take a very active role in our chapter moving forward. Okay, we have a test. Of a trivia contest. And I think this one's a little bit easier, but who knows Mike Vance? You wrote this. It's about movies.
No, the answers.
All right. It's about baseball movies. Marcus teams. And so here's the gift situation. Those of you online, here's Mark Wernick, who wrote the last trivia contest. The winner last month was Mike Vance, but Mike turned the book down. He turned the gift down. So Mark Wernick says this: Mike Vance declined his first prize book, claiming he has too many books. He asked me to pay it forward to the next winner. So Mark Wernick has offered to the Monday Night's Trivia winner a copy of the Arlie Latham biography. Both books came to him for free. The Wolf Called Shot book is an as-new, unread paperback and protective Mylar sleeve. The Latham book is also new and unread, but apparently is damaged in transit. So the winner's going to get 2 books, okay, from Mark Wernick. 2 books. The other called shot book I did read wasn't too threatening. So the winner is going to get 2 books. And also, I found something in the collection that Thompson gave us a long time ago. Kind of goes with tonight. This is Cal Smith's old copy. It's from SABR Baseball in the 19th Century, an overview. This is from Cal Smith's personal collection that he dedicated to the chat. So you get 3 of those.
Do you want to read these or just?
Yeah, I'll read them real fast to you. Okay, Field of Dreams. Kevin Costner was close friends with what well-known baseball coach? Number 1. Those of you online, hopefully you can see this.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. Number 2, James Earl Jones's character of Terrence Mann was originally written to be what real-life author? Oh, yes. Yep. Number 3, when Ray writes Moonlight Graham on his scorecard at Fenway, the names of 5 Red Sox players are visible. Name 1. Oh, you're. 8 Men Out. Great movie, 1988. Name 3 of the 8 actors who played the band White Sox. Name at least 3 to score.
You got 3 to get the point.
3 to get the point. The 1919 Reds manager previously won an NL pennant with what club? Number 6, questions from the natural. Bernard Malibu used Eddie Waikus, how do you say Waikus, as a loose inspiration for the short story, but what other ball player was previously shot by a distraught former girlfriend? Not Jose Altuve. Chris' favorite player. Favorite answer for question.
Yes, every answer is Altuve.
Number 7, a famous scene was inspired by a player named Obama Roel. Breaking the clock in what MLB ballpark? Number 8, the baseball scenes were filmed in what city? I believe I know these. Bull Durham, 1988. Number 9, who holds the real-life record for most minor league homers?
We're looking at a new member if he just played baseball to pitch it. Put his name up.
Number 10, what contributor to Comedians Talking Baseball started Bull Durham? That means you must have read the book. You get this? I'm impressed.
That's Mike Vance selling his own book.
That's Mike Vance selling his own book. That's Mike Vance.
We should have a rule.
I have that book. It's a very good book.
It is a great book. I have a copy of it too. Bad News Bears. Number 11. What company sponsors the Bears? I have this jersey at home. I have worn it to a meeting. Come on, if you watch that movie, you know the company. Usually find a lot of them outside of jails. So I'm just saying. All right. All right. Number 12. In the first sequel, the following year, what MLB park do the Bears play in? Is it the one where they make the?
Yeah.
That's a movie.
42,
2013. Phillies manager Ben Chapman is portrayed as a horrible racist in the film. Who are the 2 Cardinal players, real life, Jackie Robinson singled out for bad behavior? 2 Cardinals. Number 14, Dodgers manager Leota Rocher stood up for Jackie but was suspended for the 47th season because of gambling in a very public extramarital affair. Took over as manager. 61, great movie as well. Yankees fan Billy Crystal directed this movie. What TV sitcom launched his acting career? Really? Really?
You know that? I know that one. That's one of the answers I knew.
That's the first one I've got.
You'll find here.
All right.
You gotta wait like the rest of them. I don't know.
What TV sitcom launched its second?
I had 2 answers already before I saw the answers.
16. What Red Sox pitcher gave up number 61 to Maris? Is that it? A League of Their Own, 1992. Tom Hanks' character Jimmy Dugan quotes which of his old managers? Kind of that. 18. Name 2 of the former MLB players who managed in the AAGPBL. Need 2 to score. One of them is not Madonna. Or Gina Davis. Major League, 1989, just a bit outside. What real-life pitcher was most inspired by this movie? Oh, great book, by the way. I once actually invited the author of that book to come speak with us. He still has not responded. It is a great book. What former big leaguer played Yankee slugger Clu Haywood? Really? Clu? Former big leaguer? Yeah.
Yep.
Clu Haywood?
Yes.
Interesting.
Pitcher.
Yes.
Moneyball. Name one of the 3 real 2002 ace players, not manager, mentioned in the movie who spent time with the Astros. Besides Oakland and Houston, what team did Art Howe manage? Really?
Currently the greatest team in baseball.
The Bad News Bears. Great, another great movie starring.
Don't say.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. What? A bingo long traveling all stars in motorcades. You been seen this?
A long time ago.
You been seen this movie?
I have.
Great film. Hilarious. What actor's character pretends to be Cuban and American Indian to play in MLB? Can I say Lando? His name Lando covers Number 24, the movie set in 1939. The Baltimore League Giants won the real Negro National League that year. Behind what 17-year-old star player? It's not the 17-year-old. Was the kid 17 who went up against Aaron Judge in the World Baseball Classic? He was from Brazil. I think it was a 16 or 17-year-old. He got Aaron Judge to ground out. Was he 16?
It was a
17.
It was a playoff game, so of course he grounded out.
I think
You could pitch to him and he grounded out.
Yeah, I would pitch to him. Well, I would have thrown that. No, I didn't. I wouldn't do that. Not this. Bang the Drum Slowly, 1973. Come on. What actor was considered to play Bruce Pearson but removed to star in another film? Number 26. Who was the host of the TV show on which the Singing Mammoths appeared?
Grant Flintstone.
Jose Altuve. Mr. Baseball. What team's cap did Tom Selleck always wear on Magnum PI? Oh, come on. That is an easy one.
I know, I got that right.
And I never really watched that show. Who is the American with the most all-time homers in Japanese baseball? 464. Babe Ruth. How many questions are there? Pride of the Yankees. Name 3 of the 4 real New York Yankees who appeared as themselves in the film. One's an easy layup. Lou Gehrig grew up in which New York City borough?
Yeah, you got one.
Albany.
You're still a lot bigger back in that.
I threw y'all. See what I did there? I threw y'all a slur. All right, here's the answer. The answer is number 1, Field of Dreams. Augie Garrido. Number 1, Augie Garrido. Number 2, J.D. Salinger. Catcher in the Rye. J.D. said, right?
Yeah, that's right. If you've read
That's
the
in the
book,
book.
that's in it, yeah.
Yeah, I read the book. I wanted to kill. Oh, that's it. We have a red catcher in the right. Yeah, Holden Caulfield, get on some of his nerves. You never red catcher in the right. Number 3, Marty Barrett, Wade Boggs, Mike Greenwell, Dwight Evans, Ellis Burks.
Who? Oh, that is.
Marty Barrett, Wade Boggs, Mike Greenwell, Dwight Evans, Ellis Burks. Number 4, 8 men out. Charlie Sheen, John Cusack, David Stratham, D.B. Sweeney, Michael Rooker, James Reed, Perry Lang, Don Harvey. Not to be confused with Paul Harvey. How many people get that reference?
The rest of the story.
That's right. Number 5, the 1915 Phillies. Number 6, the Natural. Billy Jerkis. Number 7, Ebbets Field.
I thought that when Jordan hit the scoreboard.
That's the one where Jordan hit the scoreboard?
Yeah, that's when they moved about that, hadn't it?
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah, I thought they did.
8, Buffalo. Full Durham. Number 9, Mike Hessman with 433. Mike Hessman with 433. Wow. 10, Robert Wolf.
Somebody got one.
Yeah.
Mike, did you get that?
Yes.
Number 11, Chico's Bell Bar.
Yes, sir.
I can wear the jersey next month, right? Number 12, the Astronaut. Y'all saw that one, right? Number 13, Ina Slaughter and Joe Garagiola.
I was surprised about it because Joe Grado was supposed to be Mr. Evermeek, but he slowly called him bad words.
Yes, supposedly.
Joe Garagiola.
Number 14, Bert Shooten, Chump.
Who?
I don't know, Bert.
So old Carlo manager last section.
No, Charlie Greason.
Charlie Greason? No, Bert Shaw.
Charlie Dress.
Or whatever.
Makes first take.
Number 15,
Yeah.
So,
Soap.
yes, that was great show. That's
Awesome.
fantastic.
Rick
Had Bert who would act like he was invisible. Well, that was great.
Yeah.
Number 16, Tracy Staller. 17, Roger Cornsby. Well, I was wrong. I thought. 18, Jimmy Fox, Max Carey, Dave Bancroft, Guy Bush, Woody English, Robert Gennard, William Long, Eddie Ainsmith, Carson Bigby, Josh Billings, Buzz Boyle, Johnny Rawlings, Mark McManus, Bert Nile.
Bad question.
Okay.
That's the league.
Mitch Williams.
Yes.
Wow, thank you.
Wow, thank you.
Oh, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking Bull Durham.
Actually got this.
The pitcher,
Newt
Newt
Lelouch.
Lelouch, is inspired by a minor league.
Yeah.
What's his name? I can't remember his name. The minor guy.
Oh, I know. Yeah. So it's about the
Yeah. Number 20.
Mitch Williams was inspired.
God.
The movie.
Pete
Real life.
Vukovich.
Oh, we got
21. Moneyball. Miguel Tejada. Carlos Pena. Mike. Mignante.
They might have to bring them back.
I have
These
to.
players.
The Mets.
I mean,
Bob Durrell gave us a good hint by pointing at his jersey when he walked by. Bingo Long, Traveling All-Stars, starring. Oh, that's not right. Starring Lando Calrissian.
Such a page now.
What?
Richard Pryor was that.
Richard Pryor was in that.
just it was.
Yeah, Richard
It
Pryor
wasn't
played.
Lando Calrissian. That was.
I know. I would have got that question wrong. We know who Lando Calrissian is.
Billy D. Lee.
Billy D. Lee is also in it. Oh, but James Earl Jones is also in it.
Was a kid.
I'll have to watch that.
24, Roy Campanella. Didn't James Earl Jones kind of play the Josh Gibbs,
Josh
kind of character.
Gibbs.
Yeah. Great movie. Hilarious. 25, Al Pacino got cast instead of Michael Corleone in The Godfather. Interesting. His loss.
This one is good.
It was going to be Al Pacino and Bang the Drum Slowly, but he decided to do Godfather.
What was the answer to
His loss. Man, I don't know. That was a
Roy
question.
Campanella.
Roy Campanella. All right. 26, Ralph Kiner. That's it. No, Mr. Baseball, the Tigers.
Hey.
28, Tuffy Road.
Oh, look at that.
You're like Astros, didn't it?
Did Tuffy Rhodes play for the Astros?
Yeah, he did.
Yes. Yes, then he went and he came back to the Lakers. So
29, Babe Ruth, Bill Dickey. Mark Koenig, love you.
it's 3 big sets. I got 3 points. I got
30.
I got 1 or 3.
That's it. How many answers?
I started questions, so.
Yeah, but there was several.
Hey, can you go back to 25, come back to the end, go with the fast, good right at the end?
Well, yeah, when you get out here, like 8:53.
No, never.
Now this is really late for us. It's really late now.
Tanner, we're going to see it. Yeah.
All right. Who got 30?
And what was 27?
And
Tigers.
who got 15? Anybody get 15? Oh man, I got 2.
I got 3 to the winner.
Mike Vance, who got 10? Get out of here!
There's 10 there.
Oh, Vince and Scott, who got 11?
Oh.
You got 10?
Yep, I got 10.
Scott, congratulations, you have 3 out of 9. Then to bed. Scott will write trivia contest for the June 22nd meeting that's going to occur here, where we're going to have Bill Brown and every member of the Houston Astros Hall of Fame committee that I can swindle in coming here that night, so we can talk about the Astros Hall of Fame committee. Please let Scott know, that should be everybody in here, that you're going to write something about Phil Garner and Davey Lopes, the Astros legends. And let him know you'll get him that memory, or if you just want to write something in general about Phil Garner and Davey Lopes. Give it to him for the next week and a half. And then talk to Mike McCroskey and tell him how many people you're going to bring, so he knows we're going to have 20 people at our next event, May 9th at Constellation Field. Everybody's invited. All you can eat barbecue, all you can eat ice cream. And then the Space Cowboys versus the Albuquerque Isotopes that night. We will see you all May 9th. Go Astros. Get out of what you ever do. Bye-bye. Great day.